looking for freedom, you know what's the difference. Most people don't know, they don't have an alternative. They protest against something, but they don't know what the answer is. Down with the government, but they don't know what the answer is. What's the alternative? Sometimes the alternative is worse than the one that they get rid of. The alternative is within us all. How to find that self, how to find ourselves, how to find that which we're looking for. Not easy. Many, throughout the course of history, many philosophers, spiritualists endeavored sometimes great personalities come in this world to give us a clue, to give us some direction. Sometimes people follow, mostly they don't. Sometimes people want to do it their way. I've got my own philosophy. I take a bit here and a bit there and a bit from here and a bit from there. That's not the teaching of the great acharyas, the teaching of the great religious leaders. They give us a defined path to follow if we want to find ourselves. If we want freedom. Freedom from not just maybe some social maladjustment, but freedom from birth and death, the real challenges of life. Huh? The real challenge of life. Not how I can make more money or how I can get a better position, how I can be heard, how I can be recognized, how I can get my rights. The real challenges life face everyone, no matter poor or rich, recognized or not recognized, normal or not normal, so-called. Whoever we are, whatever gender, color, belief, we all have the basic same challenge, you could say. Same basic situation. We are all subject to birth, death, disease, and old age. Everybody. Whether you're animal, bird, beast, human, tree. You can be the richest person, famous person, but still we're subject to the same basic things. And not only that, within that, there are the threefold miseries. Miseries caused by, or sufferings caused by, mind and body, adhyatmaka. Everybody has experienced that, I'm sure. Some toothache. There was one young man at the program yesterday, Nandarani's son. He had a toothache. He was suffering from a toothache. Is there anyone who's never had a toothache? I'm sure there are, but most people have had a toothache. And it's horrible. It's a horrible experience if it's really bad. It's almost unbearable. I remember one time I was rolling on the floor. The tears were rolling out of my eyes. Not because you're crying, though, because some emotional thing. It was just a chemical reaction. It was just curling up, trying to tolerate the pain when I was younger. Just from a little tiny tooth. Incredible. And who we are. And then the mind. But there's more severe pains from the body also, which I'm sure many of you have experienced. Ladies, particularly men, don't know. At least they don't know in this lifetime. For many ladies, the pain of childbirth. when you give birth to a baby. We're in a male body, so we don't experience it in this life, but we see and hear from those who do. It can be excruciating. Of course, there's some positive objectives there, which may keep you going. Otherwise, if it was just pain, you would have no interest in this business. But a child will be born. That's the positive aspect. That's another thing. Pleasure is there too. But there's a lot of pain in order to get pleasure in this world. A lot. And then there are sufferings caused by other living entities. So your own mind, we haven't finished that yet. Adhyatma. The mind. Has anyone ever had stress in the mind or mind problems? Ever had them? Always? Really? You are very steady. Krishna says by regulation, steadiness. The mind. It's incredible how much we identify with our minds. Amazing. Even though we have some philosophical knowledge, maybe some pious credits, we're born in a society where we hear we're not the body, we're spirit, soul, everything's due to karma. Still, philosophy is easy in one sense, but realization or even the practical application of it is not always so easy. We're better at telling others about it than we are telling ourselves sometimes. Applying the teachings of Bhagavad Gita in our lives. We preach it. We try to distribute the book, but then applying it to ourselves, being undisturbed. Hard to be undisturbed, isn't it? In the face of disturbance, or what would normally cause disturbance. You're equipoised. Who can be equipoised in the face of, all kinds of what we perceive as aggressive behavior? Of course, being equipoised has to be understood in a broader sense of the term. It doesn't mean pacifistic necessarily. But it means not being disturbed, but one may still act. This is a unique aspect of Krishna consciousness, of acting without being disturbed. Appearing to take action, perhaps against a perpetrator or whatever it may be, seen as, without being disturbed, being neutral. Just like a judge. Because the judge has no particular relationship with those who are being judged, but he's neutral, supposed to be. I don't know nowadays, maybe they're not so neutral. In principle, a judge is supposed to be neutral. Maybe they take a little bribe, I don't know. Sometimes I've heard that goes on. But they're supposed to be neutral. They just judge the thing for what it is and give the appropriate result. They're not responsible, but they're acting according to the situation. They're undisturbed. Oh, they shouldn't be anyway. They even go to bed at night now. Thanks. Oh, that poor fellow, I sentenced him to prison. Oh no. Oh, I feel so sorry. I don't know. Maybe they do, but I don't think they should do. They have a job to perform. They're neutral. They have nothing against. They're well-wishers of everyone. They should be. But they have to do their job. But they're not disturbed. Maybe they are, but they shouldn't be. So to be undisturbed in heart, despite all the disturbances around us. We get caught up very often in, the world affairs. Huh? You ever notice that sometimes you get really affected by the world affairs? We had your pandemic. Now there's a war in Ukraine. That disturbs a lot of people naturally. Maybe politics, economics. So many things going on around us. Prabhupada many times, but very clearly said, don't bother yourself with all these things. They were going anyway. What difference does your bothering make to it? It's not going to stop it, is it? Is it? No. You just disturb, you become disturbed. It doesn't make any difference to the situation around you. It doesn't help it anyway. We become disturbed. Except we have, our life is very short. Most of us here are, well, quite a mixed audience, but most of us here are not that old. I mean, most of you are probably under 50, I guess. Is that right? Are you under 50?
Yes.
Yeah. You can't drink yet. You've got to drinking only over 50 to drink. Life begins at 50. And most of you are under 50, some are over 60, maybe some of us are over 70 years of age. But how long will we live? How long are you going to live? Have you made your decision? How long are you going to live? Can anyone say? Cannot really. That's another dynamic dimension. But in this physical body, how long will we live? Not sure, really. Well, somebody said 1 hour. My God, we better get the ambulance around here pretty quick. We won't even make it to Prashad, and maybe a little bit longer than an hour. At least take Prashad before you go. We don't know, isn't it amazing? Our own body, we think this is me, and we do not know how long we are going to be in this. We say in this body, but then we say I am the body. It's a contradiction of words and of understanding. We don't know how long. It just simply means we're in total ignorance. Even if we are this body, we don't have any control over it. We don't know what's going to happen next. We don't know how long we're going to be. But mostly, not many people live beyond 100. Very few. Maximum usually. Some people, so they do live longer, but not many. Most people don't even make it to 90. I think even 80 is more than average, isn't it? 70 something maybe. Different parts of the world, different. Of course, there's other ways of looking at that. But the body generally doesn't last very long. 100 years at most, if you're lucky. Or unlucky, whichever way you look at it. So Prabhupada said our life is very short. We haven't got time to waste on just trying to analyze that which we cannot analyze. There was a famous scientist, Stephen Hawking, who said, don't waste your time. He was a materialist, atheist. But he said his material secret was that he concentrated on what he could do and not what he couldn't do. Most people are worrying, constantly trying to think about things they cannot do. And they're not going to do either. Focus on. So Prabhupada said, this lifetime, we shouldn't focus on all these things. We should focus on going back to Godhead. We haven't got time to waste. This is a foreign subject matter in one sense to many in the world today. It's like a dream. Maybe it sounds good, it's just a dream to most people, but you're already in a dream. If you like the dream you're in, what can we say? Birth, death, disease and old age. Misery is caused by other living entities, then we have that one. What type of misery is it caused by other living entities? Come on, every lady knows you have a husband. He's number one on the list, right? If he's still around. Haven't got rid of him yet. Well, the husbands will probably say the same thing about their wives. Huh? That may be the case. Hopefully it's not, but it might be. Yeah, what type of miseries are caused by other living entities? Just now, who came in my room? Where's she sure? Where is he? Is he here? Where's here? Where? He's around. Maybe. He's around. He was here just now. He's around and about. He's asking me, how are the bed bugs? I said, I don't know. I didn't ask him. I didn't see any to ask. It's pretty far out. That's a big breakthrough. Down in Thai Prabhu, where are you? Any bed bugs here? You didn't see any bed bugs? None in the hotel? There's not even any in the hotel. They're staying in a hotel nearby. Better than Paris, much better. The Paris temple is terrible. We have bed bugs everywhere. They're all over the world. They don't need visas. They just go wherever they like. I haven't even seen, I've seen down here, but they're not seeing one cockroach upstairs. Can you believe it? I don't know what happened to them. What's happened to the cockroaches? Where they gone?
Insecticide.
Huh?
Insecticide.
They gone on holiday, he said. It's a cockroaches holy week. They've all gone on holidays. And hardly a mosquito either. Not one ant. Can you believe that? Gee, I can't believe it. The sweets are just sitting there. No ants, nothing. I don't know what's happened. Everything's dying. But normally, bed bugs. You know, I was listening to Prabhupada yesterday, you were there. I think when Prabhupada was saying, just like bed bugs, Hariboti, all night long, cannot sleep. Bed bugs biting. That really is quite annoying, isn't it? And then the bed bugs, sometimes different people react differently. I'm not allergic exactly, but I'm very affected by bed bugs. 2 weeks later, it's still itching like anything. 2 weeks later. They had an amazing, effect. I remember one time I went to London Temple, London, centre of London. They stay in they have a brahmachari guest room, so I stayed there. They said we had a bit of a problem with bed bugs, but I don't think we have any more. I had I counted, the ones I could see, 200 bites in one night. That's the ones I could see. I couldn't see on my back. I was itching for weeks. Then they realized they still had a bed bug problem. They had to tear out the floorboards, the wall panels, burn everything. They can make sure you keep them down, okay? They can be quite, tenacious. They go with you. They spread their, whatever, in your bags, in your coats, everywhere wherever they can get. They're very enthusiastic to spread their message all over the world. That's how it goes. They travel with people. They're clever. That's one kind of suffering. There are many other kinds of suffering caused by other living entities. What type of suffering do you have? We may accept it as normal. Even you walk down the street, here in Makati also, there's like 6, what are dogs? What's that quite vicious dog? What's it called? German something like that. What's it called? Huh? Not a Volkswagen, but something like a Volkswagen. What's it called? Anyway, fierce dog. For no reason, you're walking on the street and there's this dog. I remember I went to his house one time in Malaysia. I got to the gate. They had a garden in front of the house. There's this big dog there. The gate, And I rang the bell. This dog was looking at me as if he was hungry. So I rang the bell, the owner came out and said, "Oh, okay, come on in." I said, "Don't worry, he's harmless. He just makes a lot of noise, but he doesn't harm anyone." I wasn't convinced. I was a little bit unsure about this. But I went in anyway. This man had bought a set of Schumann Bhagavatams. And I was going around, he said, "Come and collect the money for the set." So I came around to see him. And I walked in and the dog was looking at me, angry as, and kind of walking towards the house. Then all of a sudden, boom, bit me in the leg. I got to the house. And the man said nothing at all. Not a word. Didn't even say sorry. Nothing. He said nothing happened. Amazing. There's another, you could say, misery from other living entities. Sometimes we get bitten by bugs, by dogs, by mosquitoes. Sometimes they disturb us in different ways. They may not bite you, but they certainly sing in your ear all night long. A dog barking all night long, you can't sleep. And one starts, 100 start, right? They have this kind of like system. They set each other off. What other kind of miseries do you experience from other living entities?
Parasites.
Pardon?
Parasites.
Yeah, they're all kind of similar things, aren't they? Other kind of bugs and things, and this and that. Because we have bodily diseases also, many kinds of bodily diseases are there. That's adiatmic, our own body. And adibotic, other living entities. Maybe somebody attacks us. Somebody steals your property. Is that happy when you come downstairs in the morning and there's nothing left in your rooms downstairs? Are you happy? Relieved? And nothing to worry about now. It's not there anymore. No money, no mobile, no computer, none. Generally, we're not happy. We're very disturbed. Caused by another living entity. Maybe noise. Maybe they're making. Like there's this group. I don't know if you have them in Manila. They're called the Hare Krishnas. Have you heard of the Hare Krishna movement? They cause so much disturbance. They go around banging drums and making hell of a din. And sometimes they do it at night. It's unbelievable how much disturbance they can cause. You know, there's people peacefully watching the television. Along come these Hare Krishnas and making a hell of a noise. Such a disturbance. Like that, there's all kinds of other types of disturbances. What other disturbances are there? You know very well here in the Philippines. What other disturbances are there?
Typhoon.
Typhoons. You call them typhoons?
Yes.
Typhoons. Cyclones? Typhoons. Huh? Some place they call cyclones. Something like that. Hurricanes, they're all related. Heavy winds, heavy rains. Sometimes they're devastating, huh? You get them here. I remember in Tacloban, was it like 10 years ago or something? Tacloban? Very heavy typhoon came in, huh? Very powerful. Thousands of people died, huh? Heavy. Sometimes you get earthquakes. Baguio, you had a big earthquake there one time, I heard. Is that right? Many people died? Thousands, huh? Many buildings came down. Even in Tacloban, I think they had some kind of earthquake there as well, I believe. All kinds of things. Often they happen at the same time. Different things. So these are caused, you could say, they're called adidivic. Adidivic. Misery is caused by material nature. Sometimes you have, now in many places in Manila, the water is turned off at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. No water all night. You've got to save your buckets. I guess it's because there's not enough water. I don't know. I don't know what. But usually it means that the reservoir is drying up. Usually. So that's probably due to lack of water, or maybe they put it down to too many people. I don't know. Too many people taking baths. Again, I've heard these Hare Krishnas are really problematic. They take 3 or 4 baths a day. Unbelievable. They're using so much water. Every time they go to the toilet, they use water instead of paper and all sorts of things. They're really environmentally unfriendly people. Right? They eat vegetables. Did you know that? They eat vegetables. Okay. Were you with us in Bulacan? That day we had a program in Bulacan about 7 or 8 years ago, and I can't remember who organised what, but we went up to Bulacan, and there weren't many people. Someone like was Sri Vrindavan is not here today, I think, but he was working or studying, didn't have time to advertise it. Not many people came, and it was in a basketball court. Huh? You remember that? I think I vaguely remember you were with us. And there was one young girl there. I was saying this morning, you know, how in Philippines the kids, oh no, adults, they wear t-shirts. I was with Rishi Kumar, so we were talking about someone with a t-shirt up. They don't know what it says. They don't know what they're wearing. They just wear any old t-shirt. No matter what it says. You see the boys walking around sometimes with McDonald's t-shirts on and things like this. You know. Beer advertisements and things. They don't even notice what the t-shirt says on it. Anyway, this girl had some, I can't remember it word for it. I took a picture, I don't know what happened to it. But it said something, what did it say now? Don't kill cauliflowers. Eat meat. Killing cauliflowers is murder or something, it said. Eat meat. It's a t-shirt like that. It was even more kind of like, wow, than that. I can't exactly remember. It was so kind of like, unbelievable. Probably didn't even know what it said. You're walking around with this t-shirt. Young lady, young girl, 8 years old or something. Miseries of material nature. What are the miseries of material nature? I think we've summarized quite a few. Earthquakes, typhoons, drought, flooding. Maybe others you can think of. Volcanoes. You have volcanoes here too. You had your volcano in that, what's that lake just down there? Huh? Tawa? Talavan. And Tal volcano, Tal lake, whatever. I don't know if people died. Did people die from it?
Not so many.
Not many, if any. But it was a real disturbance, right? Ash everywhere, isn't it? Oh, for miles around, everything covered in ash. Very unhealthy, and this and that. Different types of this. This is the material world. You can't avoid it. The material world means Tukali Mashashtakam. That was blissful. A blissful nose blow, that one. I really enjoyed that nose blow. What a relief. It's not over yet, more coming out. Blissful, ecstatic. If only I could have more of that, that would make life so happy. Most of our happiness is a relief rather than a positive thing. When you go to the toilet, I was a bit late because I had to pass stool. What a relief, isn't it? Don't you feel good after passing stool? So happy. What type of happiness is that, you know? It's crazy. Sleep. Oh, I can't wait to go to bed. Oh, you're dead. You're lying there dead, basically. That was a really good sleep I had there. We don't know what real happiness is. Food, but maybe that's one of the most pervasive happinesses, I guess, isn't it? I don't know of anybody, I mean, some people have a physical problem for various reasons, but in general, everywhere in the world you see food is a primary, not just to live, you need it to live, but not only that, people like to enjoy it, don't they? Is it not? Different tastes are there. They'll spend a fortune, if they have a fortune, on a meal. Maybe you don't because of financial reasons, but if you did, many people, they know what to do with their money. They'll spend a fortune. They'll even fly hours flight to go somewhere just to have a very special meal. In some restaurant on the 50th floor of some, holiday resort, and then they go there to eat the local crabs. You know what a crab is? A lobster. They'll fly, halfway around the world to eat these famous lobsters. They don't care if it costs them £10,000. So what? I get that taste. They're always looking for that taste. Or they go all over the world to gamble. There's a kind of like a euphoria, what is it called? This energy that comes up, what's it called? When you get excited, what's it called? That adrenaline. Adrenaline. You can, I'm gonna win. Sex life, same thing. It's like this adrenaline buzz, like nothing. It's like incredible. Then it's all over. Boom. Finished. And if you lose, it's like. But they're looking for that excitement, something special. Everyone's got something or another. But you can't avoid it. The nature of this world is, you could say, a loser's nature. Everyone's a loser in this world because we all have to live and die. And they lose everything, no matter what you got. Can't take it with you when you go. You take your karma and your desire. That takes us into another body with the same story. Just, different colors, different variety, but it's the same basic story. So what to do? Maybe that's all there is. That's it. Finish. Full stop. Most people, they resort to a philosophy, there is nothing after life. When you die, that's the end of it all. It's a kind of like a way of, well, I don't know if it's true or not, but they say sometimes ostriches bury their heads in the sand when faced with danger. It's kind of like, it's all over, don't worry about it. Just forget, there's nothing to forget. There's nothing exists, you don't exist after this. Or, if you just some lip service and you go to the heavens, and if you don't say the lip service, you go to the hells. Some people take shelter in that one. Some people just don't care less. They just giggle and goths or emos or something in the West. Just fatalism. Meaningless. Even if you have these philosophies or these, let's say, belief systems which may give us some false security, just like we bury ourselves with intoxication sometimes. With false security, liquor, drugs, cigarettes to a lesser degree, some other kinds of intoxicants. Or we bury ourselves in, artificial reality, watching the television day and night, forgetting what's going on around us. We may do all kinds of things to try to alleviate fear. But fear is the most, in one sense, the most all-pervasive challenge. Fear affects just about everything in our daily experience. What types of fear are you maybe not always conscious of it, but what types of fear are lingering? Pardon? Huh?
Fear of death.
Well, that's a very common one. A fear of death, because fear is caused by ignorance. Don't know. There may be other aspects to fear, but that's the primary underlying cause of fear. You don't know what's going to happen. You're afraid. What else are you afraid of? So death is a very common one.
Loss of money.
Loss of property or money. Why do we have locks on our doors? We're afraid that someone's going to come in, probably. Or maybe we're afraid that someone's going to go out. Or whatever it is, in or out. There's a fear there. Isn't it? You have sometimes bells you have to press. No. Hello, who's there? This is... then you go up to the door. They live on the 40th floor. Then they have a little hole in the door and looking through to see who's there. Then there's this chains, and so they can look around the side of the chains. Then there's a lock to open the door itself. Then there's some monster dog, if they're allowed to have a monster dog there, just in case they didn't get, they haven't already screened you enough. People are afraid. They got security guard downstairs. Right? So many. It's this defense. It's this form of fear. Form of fear. We're afraid the others are going to attack. So we have an army. Many fears are there. What else? So fear of loss of money. You're always afraid. Not always. But, it's lingering there. That fear is there in the background. You might lose your money, so you try to keep it very carefully. Or you might lose your mobile phone. You try to be very careful, huh? And if you can't find it, I've seen the panic button goes off many times when you can't find your mobile phone. Isn't it? Panic button. It's like half your life is there in the mobile. Like losing half your life almost. You're afraid of what? That's a serious one. I mean, that is a fear of losing your children or losing your friends or your family members. That's completely normal in terms of the material world, because it's a reality of material life. It's not an artificial creation like other things maybe, but it's still symptomatic of the material world. We're losing that which really isn't ours in the first place. Because of ignorance, we think it's ours. Everyone's affected by that. That's why we're in the material world. You can rise above it, but it's going to be there in the material world. Death, loss. Anything else? Go Paul. I thought you were in Cebu. I thought you really left us.
The fear of judgment.
Judgment, another big one. People judging us. Heck of a lot of psychological problems in the world today. Enormous. It's here in the Philippines. It's just not so much dealt with or recognized as such. But it's in the Western world, it's like almost every other person is consciously experiencing some psychological problem. And a lot of it is related to the fear of judgmentalism, of what people think of us. We don't fit into the society, and so on and so forth.
Being cancelled.
Huh?
Being cancelled.
Being cast out?
Cancelled.
Cancelled. Being cancelled. Yeah, they cancel you. Okay, that can be taken in many ways. I know, just really, if you're not, what's this word, correct? What they call it, socially correct or whatever? They cancel you. You get, huh? Politically correct, socially correct. whatever it's called, you get cancelled. What does that mean, you get cancelled? Taken off the system is one. You know, that's a blessing in disguise if it's Facebook. But it might go further than Facebook. You get ostracized, you get sidelined, you get even, you know, repercussions of it, punished in many ways. Could be. What else? Yes.
Fear of failure.
Failure. Fear of failure. Yes. That's, and you're a professor, so you probably experienced that with students, right?
Yes.
You know, most of us have been through some level of education. Did you ever have what we call butterflies in the stomach? You call it that here? Butterflies in the stomach? You're so nervous, huh? You've got your exams coming up or something, or you've got a class with your favorite teacher. Well, I'm saying that back to front. That teacher who just doesn't like you, for what reason it may be. And you know, it's like it's creating fear in you. You know? Did you ever have that sometimes? That by karmic reason somebody doesn't like you, for no other reason, you don't know why. And it's like terrifying almost having to go in that class or in that situation. You're almost afraid. Fear of other people is very strong, isn't it? People who have particular nature which does not gel with us. They may be very condescending, arrogant, they may be what they are, but it just does not gel. They're full of false ego, or whatever we call it. Maybe we're the one who's full, but to us it appears they're the one. And it's not very pleasant. You just don't want to be there. But fear of failure is also another big one. Is related to loss, you could say as well, but it's separate also. Fear of failure in your exams for various reasons, not only one's own reasons, is oftentimes, you know, it's because of the environment that we're in. We're being pressurized. If you fail your exams, you're looked down upon. Your parents get on your case. Other people put you down. Whatever it may be, you know, it's not just your own failure. You're not going to get the result. You're not going to get the job. You're not going to get this or that. But other people around you can make it even worse. They add salt to the wound, as we say. You know, if you rub salt into a wound, you know what it feels like, right? It makes it even more painful. You're a doctor, you know this. If someone's got a wound, you put salt on it. Is that what you do?
Losing position.
Losing position. Okay, there's another one. That's losing position. Even devotees, we all, even as aspiring devotees, we suffer from these things, don't we? Come on, isn't it? Adi, we still suffer, even though, oh, we're not this body, we're spirit soul. Don't get attached. Mata sparshas tu kunteya, shitoshna sukadukada, agama paino nityas, dharm statikshas bharata. And as soon as there's not a gulab on our plate and everyone else has got one, we see how titikshava we are. Hey, why haven't I got a gulab? He's got one. That's kind of simplistic, but to a large extent we're still affected. Because we're still connected. We haven't fully connected with Krishna. We haven't realized our transcendental nature and Krishna's transcendental nature. You rarely get examples of persons who are really not. You may get people who tolerate. Everyone tolerates to a certain extent. And some people seem to be extremely tolerant. But there's more to tolerance than just what meets the eye. Tolerating the demands of the mind, that's another thing, isn't it? We may tolerate the pains of the body, but what about tolerating the demands of our minds? Is that easy? Generally not. Now so that's the three types of unavoidable sufferings of this world. Of course there's a drop of pleasure, at least on this planet. In the heavenly planets there's a big drop of pleasure, and not so much immediate pain, you could say. It does exist, but it's not so prominent. That's the beauty of the earthly planes of existence, is you get a bit of both. Maybe more misery sometimes, and maybe this way and that. But both are there. But there's enough suffering to make you wonder, what's it for? What's the point of all this? In the hellish situations, or the lower planetary systems, it said, well, you get used to anything. And it states that Maya, the material nature, is so expert at covering the soul that even in hell, you think it's not so bad. Oh, the boiling oil is not so hot today. It's a good day. We're in a pot of boiling oil. Well, today's good. It's like you go out in the weather. You know, in the Philippines, hot day is, you know, it's too hot, right? And then it gets a little cool. Phew, what a relief. Today it's not so hot, right? A little cool. Feel much better today. It's not so hot. So you're in a pot of boiling ghee, if you believe in hell. Or even if you don't, if you end up in a pot of boiling ghee. Well, today it's not so hot. It's a pretty good day. I'm having a good day today. How are you doing? Oh, you know, a terrible day. The oil was hotter than yesterday. Oh, never mind. I'm sure it'll cool down after a while. Kind of simplistic example, but people accept the situation they're in. Maya does it like that. She covers the living entity to make you say, this is it, it's okay. You'll be alright. Even though we're in an abominable condition in one sense. We forget imagine what it'd be like if you could remember all your other situations. It would be unbearable. It's already bad enough. Absolutely unbearable. When you remember the, you know, previous lifetimes, maybe you're in heaven or something. So Maya covers us so we don't remember all those things. We just identify with our present situation and get on with life, trying to make the most of it. Eat, drink, and be merry now, because tomorrow you may die. Have you heard that statement?
Yeah.
Very common in England. Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow you may die. 1 hour. Make the most of it while you can, and squeeze out every last bit of pleasure you can. It's a meaningless philosophy. You may as well just do any damn thing you like, because what difference does it make? You're going to be dead anyway. It opens the door to any licentious activity you can think of, or cruel activity. But no, we see in human society there are moral codes. Even in societies which are totally atheistic, they have still moral codes for various reasons. And in religious society, they certainly are supposed to have not just moral codes, but codes which are meant to help us to understand a little bit more to existence than just the material side. But just to try to make material life a little more peaceful, a little bit more sober and so on. No, a bit more healthy, much more than that. But codes which are there to try to help us to realize more than just the material aspect of life. That's there also. But the primary purpose of human life is Kamasya Nendriya Pritya Labo Jiveti Yavata Jivastya Tattva Jignas. Nehu. Last time I forgot. How's it go? Jivastya Tattva Jignas. I've forgotten the last time. Life's desires should never be aimed towards sense gratification. Life's desires should be aimed at inquiry into the nature of the absolute truth. Yes, you live a healthful life, keep your health together as best you can, but that's not the goal of life. It's a responsibility in life. The goal of life is to inquire into our spiritual identity. What really is the point of this life? Otherwise it has no purpose. doesn't seem to serve any purpose whatsoever. Meaningless. And many philosophies are conclusion there is no meaning. Many Western philosophers do. And I'll tell you frankly, most of those philosophers go mad in their later years. They go actually mentally mad. Because it's totally dissatisfying. Meaningless. But there is a meaning according to Scripture, according to Sadhu, according to saintly persons, and according to our conscience within. We're always thinking, there must be more to life than this. Isn't it? You ever thought like that? I think most people at some point in their life think like that. Is this all there is to existing? Is this all there is? Somebody's laughing. What are you laughing about? Nothing. Okay, laughing about nothing. Well, imagine what you'd do if you had something to laugh about. If you can laugh about nothing, if you had something, you'd really laugh. You have got something. You've got a beautiful baby.
I'm talking to my friend, Marat.
Huh?
I'm talking to my friend. I said to him that what you are telling is the answer from his questions.
Answer to his questions. I haven't given any answers yet, hardly at all. I don't have any answers. I like talking, that's all. Just pick a bit up here and there. No. We take some guidelines. Materially, people take guidelines, whether they like it or not. What do you have a school for? What's the use of a school? Huh? To play. That's why I went to university. I went there because I decided it's a much easier life than working. It's real fun. When we went to college, we were just partying all the time. We were really, materially speaking, having a jolly good time. Even the lecturers were there with us at the parties. Yes. A main lecturer who would come to all the parties, take drugs, drink, everything, girlfriends, knocking up the students, everything. He was a real good teacher. I liked him. Partying. But that's not the point of the university, is it? Yes, he's saying it is. I don't disagree. That's what I concluded. It sounded like a good life, you know. Well, that's better than trying to get a job, you know. I went to whatever, went through the whole thing. That's not really what it's for. Why do we have educational institutions? Why? Animals don't have them, do they? You ever seen an animal college? All the dogs sat there in the room, you know. Woof, woof, woof. No. Woof, woof, woof. Woof, woof, woof. Oh, woof, woof, woof. You ever seen that? They all sat there learning how to woof. Ever seen one?
They now have dog schools.
They have dog schools?
Yeah.
Really? What do they teach the dogs?
How to sit, how to
What?
shake hands.
They teach the dogs how to shake hands? How to shake paws? Are you real?
They have now
Dog schools? They have dog teachers? I can't believe it. I know in the family they do, of course, but I never heard of an institution for dogs. Like a university, huh? They get some certificate at the end of it. Degree in sweet dog barking or something. Learning weird. Incredible. I mean, I'm not surprised, but I never heard of it before. I know they have dog superettes. In Australia, they have these supermarkets just for dogs. Everything there is for dogs. All kinds of dog paraphernalia. The owner's going with their dogs, and the dogs are like going around this, the supermarket, choosing what they want. They have hotels for dogs. Lots of hotels for dogs in the West. They're very nice, fancied hotels. They're probably more fancy than the one you're staying in. You pay a lot of money to put your dog in the hotel, by the way. It's very expensive. Anyway, whatever it is, generally speaking, maybe humans have created these things, But I don't think the dogs create it, do they?
No.
Yeah.
Okay, now the humans are creating. They're trying to educate their dogs so they can win dog contests. What's going on there? So they can be very fancy dogs. My dog's stool smells better than your dog's stool. They teach them how to have nice, smelly stool. You see that they do that in this country? They walk along the West, you know. The owner of the dog has to have a big bag of plastic, a big pocket full of plastic bags. And they have to pick the stool up. And they carry it with them until they find a place to put it. Imagine, stool carrier. It's unbelievable what is going on. In the name of civilization. Anyway, aside from all that, that is obviously not the objective of the human form of life. It is, even if you say, oh, that's just another idea. But the fact of the matter is, if we search in that direction, two things you could say, general things. One is, what are we looking for in life, in general? What are people looking for? Happiness, what else? Huh? Pleasures?
Happiness and pleasure. Pleasure.
Pleasure. Happiness, pleasure, similar thing. What else? Comforts, they're all related. What else?
Material success.
Material success, okay. And why you want material success, it also brings you happiness within, or satisfaction within, or a feeling of achievement within. There's one form or another of inner pleasure. What else? Maybe peace. Peaceful. Comfort is related to comfort. A feeling of peace and security, yeah? Don't you feel good when you feel somewhat secure? Huh? Isn't it? Sometimes even when you lock your door, you feel better. Isn't it? You lock the door, especially if you're in the toilet, you lock the door, you feel very comfortable. If the door is not locked, you don't feel so comfortable, especially in the toilet, right? By the way, that door doesn't lock in the toilet upstairs, which I'm using. That's why you gave it to me, okay? That's why you put the sign on the door. But you know, you don't feel so secure if the door is not locked, do you? Yes or no? You do or don't feel secure? You don't, right? Yeah. Or your bed, you know, especially if you're living in a place where you know there's a lot of crime. You're going to sleep at night, you don't feel very comfortable if you have no lock on your door, right? When you put the lock on, you feel a bit more comfortable. Not completely, but a bit more. Security. Peace. If you think you've got a strong army and a strong navy and this and that, you feel a little bit more secure, right? You know, little tiny countries surrounded by aggressors, you don't feel very secure. At any moment they might attack. You don't feel very secure, do you? We create artificial security systems by various methods, be they physical or mental or whatever. But there's no real security in this world as such, but we do feel a bit better when we have what we call... What does Krishna say about peace in the Bhagavad Gita? How do you get peace? Does he say you have to have a United Nations and have a meeting and you come up with a NATO treatment, a treaty or something? Huh? Pardon? Forgiving? Forgiving. Well, that's a personal thing, but what does Krishna say in the Bhagavad Gita? How you can get peace?
Realizing Krishna out there.
Bhoktaram yagatapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram. Finish the lines. Suridam sarvabhutanam. One more line to go. Yatpamam shantim. Shantim, peace. Shantim richati. How do you get peace? Real peace. Inner peace. Peace which is not disturbed by anyone else's interference or the threefold miseries of this world, or birth, death, disease, and old age, etc. How do you get peace through all of that? What do you say? One who knows is knowledge. Ignorance being the cause of fear and so many other mishaps in society. How do you get peace? Smoke a cigarette. Don't you know? Marlboro. Isn't that how you get peace? Cool, man. Give me another one.
Stress reliever.
Stress relievers, that's what Krishna says. Stress relievers. A nice drug to make you forget about it all. Wow, somebody said. That sounds good.
And it's also vanity because when you smoke, people think you're so, she's the boss.
You feel good. You feel like you are the king of the universe, huh? Infallible. Here you get lung cancer or something. They do tell you on the packet, cigarette smoking kills. Isn't it incredible? The seller, the one who's selling it, tells you, these cigarettes I'm selling you will kill you. And we still buy them. That, in the words of Einstein, is madness, called madness. Keep doing something which you know is not going to work and you still do it. You're crazy, man. And that's what people are doing in life, huh? Basically. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, today, where's Hari Kirtan? Hari Kirtan! Where are you? Is he gone? His son's still here. Here he is. Come here. You're my assistant. Come here. Come here, son. Here he comes. Our famous Kirtan man, Hari Kirtan Babu. He'll be finishing in a few minutes. I could go on all night. Carry on. Come here. This is my assistant. His name is Hari Kirtan. Say something. I don't know. Say something. Haribo. He has. Now, here it is. Here we go. Give me that book. Ladies and gentlemen, you are so fortunate you are assembled here today in Shishi Radha Madhava Mandir. You are the chosen few. What's the most opulent suburb? Magalanis? What's the most opulent suburb in Metro Manila? Magalanis?
Magallanes is on the
Which is the most opulent? Forbes? Forbes? Forbes. 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 Got it? Forbes. Ladies and gentlemen, we have just for you, only today, we have a special offer for all of you fortunate folks here today. The dream of your life, Rishi Kumar. You've been dreaming of this for 25 years, and today your dreams can become true. Listen to my assistant here. I'll tell him what to say. We have properties available in Forbes. 80 properties. How many people are here? 80, I think. 80, huh? 80 properties are up for, not even for sale, ladies and gentlemen. Believe it or not, they are up for offer today. 80 properties. There is no payment. No payment. Minimal lease. Next to nothing. These properties have everything you could dream of. Even a dog comes along with these properties. You have a swimming pool. And if you like, on the roof or in the garden, whichever you prefer. There are tennis courts, golf courses on many of them, if you like golf. Everything is there. There is nice walls around the properties, alarm systems, CCTV cameras on all the corners. Every room has aircon. Even the bathroom is fully furnished, carpeted from wall to wall. What more could you ask for? 20 bedrooms in each house. What else? You have a games room. Is like this games rooms? Games rooms? Games room. You have your own private bar. I can see so many faces are lighting up like anything here. What do you think? I think we got some good customers today. Okay, now my friend Harry Kirtan. Now all you have to do is sign on the paper, okay? Just put your signature there, your contact, and the house will be yours as soon as possible, okay? You're round to go. He wants one. He definitely wants one. I can see that man there. He is just bursting at the seams. And this one over here, he really needs one. I can see that. Poor fellow. He really needs a house to live in. Go and get all the signatures before it's too late. Don't miss out. It's only for the next 10 minutes this offer is available. Quick, sign up. Come on, he really will sign it. Come on, give him the pen. Where's the pen? Give the pen. We have to imagine the pen. Imagine, right? Come on, right. Here we go. Come on, everybody, sign up. You have a 100-year lease. 100-year lease. Okay, 100-year lease. Fantastic offer. Nowhere in the world would you get such an offer. Irresistible. Even, come on, sign it. Sign it. You're a newly married man. You need a house.
Just then.
All signed. 80 signatures are here. Who's this person? Hands up, Kabi Habi Bolo. Who's that? Who's Kabi Habi Bolo? Who's this guy here? Mana Siksha. Who's that? Is he here? Who's that Mani Siksha? Huh? Who's this Radha Praman? Sri Radha Praman. 80 signatures, perfect. 80 houses are all yours today. Oh, hold on. Did you show them the small print? Not very important, ladies and gentlemen. There's a little small print at the bottom of the page. I don't know. You don't need to look at that. Forget that. What does it say anyway? I never even read it myself. What does it say? Oh, 100-year lease. First class, huh? The owner, but you don't become the owner. Well, that's okay. 100 years I'll be dead by then anyway. The owner may come sometimes to say hello. He may come through the window. That's a funny way to come. Down the chimney. They have chimneys in the houses, do they? Chimneys. He might come through the television. Oh my God. Clever owner. He might come through the door also. He might come by any means. Anyway, he's a nice guy. The owner's a nice guy. Don't worry. It's not me, fortunately. The owner's a nice guy. And when he comes, he will kill you! On the spot! When's he coming? When's he coming? Tell him when he's coming. He might come in a moment's time. He's not going to tell you when he comes. He comes when he wants, not when you want. Okay, folks. Keep signing. Maybe. Maybe not. That doesn't sound all so good after all. Maybe in a moment he might come and chop. Finished. You know what that means? That's his human life. You may have a 100-year lease, you may have a 5-year lease, you don't know. But at any moment the real owner may come. Of course, that's a cruel way you could say looking at it, but it's a reality also. It's a reality. It's not that Christian wants to hurt anyone. But the fact of the matter is, we're putting our love our security, our everything. We're putting on a dead duck or a dead horse. You know, if you go to horse racing, you don't put your money on a dead horse, do you? To win the race? Not unless you're mad. $1 billion to 1 against. If you win this race with this horse, you'll get $1 billion for $1. But the horse is dead. How's it going to win the race? Are you crazy? But you get $1 billion. We're all dreaming like this in this human life. But it's dead loss. In English, I guess you have it here. As cert as death. The only thing certain is death. Nothing else is certain. When, we don't know. But we put all our energy into it, right? Why not put a little energy into something? Even if you've got nothing to lose, you're going to lose it all anyway. Put it into spiritual life. I think they're getting eager over the back there, I can see. Tables are manifesting here. Okay, well, we'll begin the class now then. You got the idea. That was the introduction. Yeah, Kirtan now. Kirtan and Bhagavad Gita class. Is that right? Why not? What else are you going to do today? Come on, let's face it. What else are you going to do? You think everything else is more important. That's right, isn't it? Got to get home. Got to do this. Got to do that. Family. Work. Money. Last bus. I don't know what you got on your minds. Television. My favourite program. A movie on. A movie this afternoon. I don't know. Hungry. Rolling bellies. Roaring stomachs. What else? Fed up listening to this crazy guy rant and rave. What else? It's okay. I don't know if everyone else agrees. You might say that. I can see over here, and especially over there, I can see some trepidation taking place over here. The cook is looking very nervously as he enters into the back room there. No, we have to finish now with a quick Haribo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, oh Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, louder! Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Rama Rama. Was that painful? I'm making my voice. Was it painful? Not too bad, huh? Joyful! Joyful and joyful. What have you got to lose? Just sing the holy names. Chant the holy names. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Haribo,